Welcome to my happy place. If you are new here, hello, I'm Jenny, and I use this space to share all things planner related. So if that sounds like something you're into, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. I want to show you how to create your own dividers like mine using things you might already have around the house, and if not, things that cost very little per divider, so that you can stop spending your hard-earned money on dividers that don't last. You are going to need a few items to make these dividers at home. First up is a home laminator. Mine was like 20 bucks and it's just the Scotch brand. It does the job. Next, you need laminating sheets. I prefer these matte sheets. You need letter size, and just a small 3mm thickness is all you need. The thicker it is, the more space it's going to take up in your rings. And just to show you the difference between traditional glossy, which is fine, I'm just very photosensitive, especially when I am getting a lot of migraines, and this is the matte. So as you can see, there's no glare. And depending on what light is above me, when I'm at work, I'm usually at a school and there's usually fluorescent lights above my head, which is a trigger for me. I found that these dividers that I had made with the traditional glossy laminator sheets were really hard on my eyes. So I finally found and switched to these matte ones. You're also going to need a paper slicer so that you can get perfectly straight edges, and you're also going to need that measuring tool to measure the size that you need your inserts, or not your inserts, your dividers to be. You're also going to need a hole punch. I found this one on Amazon. I've marked it for the various inserts that I use it for. It's adjustable. It's got the page stopper at the top. I have it linked in my planning essentials list, which is linked to my bio and Instagram. So you'll need something like this so you can hole punch your dividers or page markers, depending on what you're making today. The next step, or the first step, depending on where we're at, will be to use just any insert that you have from your planner to mark the size that you want your divider. Now, depending on whether you're making tabs at the top, tabs at the bottom, or tabs on the side, I know my ring holes are on this side, but just focusing on how we would put it into our planner, you're gonna wanna leave a bit of extra space. Now, the first one that you make will become the template that you use to make the rest of your set so that they're all the same size. So using a page as a guide and your paper slicer, you're gonna pre-cut all of those dividers now. I'm gonna do it and come back. All right, so I went and I measured the full length and I divided it by 6, and I used my ruler and I just put some tiny little pencil marks where my little scissor snips are gonna be. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of them together at the same time with a nice sharp pair of scissors, and then I'll have those divider marks on all of them in the same spots. On another note, if you cut these really well and you don't overcut, you'll end up with these really nice long extra strips, and these are perfect for saving, and you can use these to make awesome page markers in your planner, and then you don't waste any of your laminator sheets. Okay, so I went with my scissors and I made little nicks down all of them in the same spots. So now, using my paper slicer, I'm going to slice off the first one and down. So I'll leave the first tab, but I'll slice off everything down on that one, and then on the second one, I'll slice everything above and below the second one. And then that will give me 6 dividers with even tabs that I can round after, and I'll show you that. So just to save some time, I've done this over a time lapse, but I'm just using my paper slicer and my scissors to notch out all of the divider tabs and using my paper cutter so I get nice straight lines down all of them. All right, now I have my 6 dividers with all of the tabs cut out. Now, if any of them are a little bit longer than the others, what you can do is you can line them all up together in your paper cutter and give them one last trim. You always want to line them up by the hole punch side so that when you hole punch them, all of the tabs won't move. If you line them up like this and then when you hole punch them, it will move all of the tabs. So lining them up along that hole punch side, that'll go in your hole puncher. So you can see mine aren't quite perfect, and that's okay. I like really small, minimal tabs, so my tabs are on the small side, and that's all right. If you like them bigger, you make them bigger. And then I'm just going to line it up to the lowest one and just give them all a little haircut. So now they will all have a perfect edge down the side, and I like to just round the edges of all of the tabs just a little bit. It just makes it a little bit more comfortable when I'm flipping through my planner, and then I'll round these corners as well. So I'm going to do that now. And for this, I just like to use a pair of nice sharp scissors. Okay, so I've rounded all of the edges of my dividers. Only 2 things left to do now. So you can see they all have a nice line and they're all nicely rounded so that when I go to grab them with my fingers, I won't get a poke. Now I just need to hole punch them all. Another lovely little time lapse. Okay, so now they're all hole punched. The last thing that I would do, and I'm not going to do this today, but I will show you how I would do it because this is an extra set for me. I didn't need any dividers in my planner, but I wanted to show you how I make a set. The next thing I'll do is I will put labels on all of the tabs. So to do that, I use Avery clear full sheet shipping labels, and I just make myself a document in Word with the fonts that I like and the size that I like. And then what I will do is I will just put a little strip of the sticker paper. I'll cut it out and I'll tape it to the spot on the paper where the labels that I need are, so I never waste sticker paper. And then if I have extras, I just keep them in this little bag that I have. I can't even remember where I got this little mesh bag. You can see it's full of stickers and little pieces of extra laminator sheets. So if I ever need to make bookmarks or page markers, then I'm set. And I've got all of these tiny little stickers here. So here I'll make one that says routines with you. So just with scissors. I don't have a Cricut, so you don't need to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on something that you can do with your fingers for this. And let me just find, I like to use tweezers for something like this. So I'll put this on my first divider. It's very tiny and finicky. You will lose them. It'll drive you crazy. But that's okay. Okay, so I've got it peeled. And I like it right at the edge. I'll move all this stuff so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. I like it right in the middle at the edge of my tab. And so that's what my tab will look like. Routines. And then I would go down and I would do all of them. I'll just show you what they look like in my planner. Gonna flip to the middle because it's a little bit full right now where there's a bit of blank space. Okay, so these sheets aren't set up yet, so it would be a little less distracting. And there are my new dividers ready for me to label as I need them, and they fit in seamlessly with the other ones that I have. So I hope my guide here, my step-by-step how-to, made this seem doable. You can absolutely do this and you can save yourself so much money, and you can customize your planner like never before, because not only can you now make as many dividers as you want, but they take up less space than those big, huge, thick plastic ones that everybody sells. So if you found this helpful, please give it a like. I would love for you to subscribe so you will be notified when I jump back on with another helpful tip. And as always, I hope you do something today that you didn't plan.